Business is Pleasure podcast with myself, John L. Francis, and my beautiful co-host, co-partner, and full-time lover, Colette. I was trying to figure out something to say at the end, but it almost lost me, but I got it back. And my full-time lover, Colette Monique Liebert. No, I'm gonna always say your full name because I think it's important. So it can be like inundated in people's heads so they never forget about it. So like 20 years from now, they're like, I remember that girl from somewhere, like, you know? They're like, oh my gosh, she made it so far, you know, babe? So, you know, I'm just trying to like slowly put in people's psyche and everything. You're welcome.
Thank you.
No problem.
I guess.
Alright, babe, so the best way to start the show, like we do every single week, how was your week?
Why do I always have to start? How was your week? You go first.
Oh, okay, how was my week? My week, this is weird though, like, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with you, like, going second and me going first this time, but it's usually
It's time to change stuff up. It's time to change stuff up.
Alright, so, the way my week was, it was good. It was relaxing for the most part. I just had work Monday to Friday regularly, and then, we had to do a bunch of picking this week because we have an event coming up. So we were fortunate enough to pick like 3 times this week, so we got a whole bunch of stuff, which I'm really, really excited about. And this past weekend, I didn't really do much. I just really had to focus on all the pieces that we had and just taking all those pictures, editing them, then place them inside the Google Drive. But for the most part, I think this weekend was really good. And like this was maybe like the first steps into getting ready for the fall season. I know it's already mid-July, but I think in the past before we made mistakes when we waited too long. So I love how like we're being like really proactive for the most part.
Yeah.
And how about yourself? How was your week?
My week was pretty good. It pretty much was the same as yours. I picked as well.
You always copy my stuff, though, man. I don't like that.
How am I copying you when I usually go first?
Like, don't do that. I don't like that. You're always copying my stuff.
I usually go first. If anything, you're copying me.
Ironically enough, you had the same week as me.
Well, duh. We run the same business together. Like,
Ironically enough.
Like,
But
yeah.
Go ahead.
So I went picking. We got a good mix of fall winter stuff as well as some nice like Levi's denim shorts and vintage t-shirts for the current season right now, which is good.
Speaking of vintage t-shirts, I'm a real big fan of shirts that are like really stupid and funny back from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So like I found this shirt, guys, which is extremely funny. It plays on to the whole Nike Just Do It, where it's just like just do me. And then it has all these other graphic things that young kids shouldn't be doing, but I'm an adult, so it's fun. It's a beautiful shirt. I think it's really funny. It's really comical.
It's like a 6 out of 10, but okay.
Yeah. Haters gonna hate, guys. Don't remember that. Don't worry about that, guys.
Okay, but yeah, back to my week.
Nothing. Earthquake.
Back to my week. It was good. I did a lot of picking, like I said. I also did a lot of preparation for the event, so just organizing them. We have a couple coming up that are like back to back or on the same days.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of need to figure out how to work that out because that'll be the first time that we're not going to be at the same events together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
And then we had this past weekend, actually, I was trying to figure out because there was an event that we wanted to do, but we were considering 2 other events that fell on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them ended up canceling itself, so that was kind of easy to narrow it down. And then another event, we're doing it in September and October, so we figured we could miss the August one.
Mm-hmm.
So the event that we actually wanted to do, we're gonna get to do it. So that was kind of fun to figure out. But
it's nice how like it ends up working itself out.
yeah.
Because I know sometimes like going when we do events outside of Canada, we're a bit skeptical because it's like, is our plane going to be late? Are the people at the show going to be assholes? Are we going to have the right product? So there's so much more to think about.
Yeah.
But I think for the New York one, we had some of those ideas in our minds, but I think we're like really excited for the most part because like 1, we love New York.
Mm-hmm.
2, our suppliers are in New York, and 3, it's New York.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different things you can do and everything.
I've always told myself that if I wasn't living in Toronto, I'd live in New York.
100%.
I love New York. I don't know what it is about it. It just has this like go-getter like.
This grind. It's like
Yeah.
it's for me. It's not like Hollywood where everything's like perfect or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's New York.
It's
the
New York.
gutter.
For me, I feel like I've said this before, but I feel like in Toronto, a lot of people use like being busy as like a badge of honor.
Mhm.
Like they'll be like, oh, I'm just so busy, I'm busy, I'm busy, and like they say it all the time for like the most irrelevant things. Whereas like in New York, it's like, okay, you're supposed to be
Like
busy.
this is the way
Like
of life.
people don't even see busy as busy because it's just life. It's just everyday life. It's like why are you talking about being busy? You should be busy. You should be working hard. You should be working on your business or making money in some way or another. So
And it's dope
So I
too
love it.
because like in Canada, like, oh my gosh, she's such a hard worker. In New York, it's like you're not working hard enough.
yeah.
Like you could do more. Like
Yeah.
why aren't you working 25 hours a day? There's only 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
But like it's nice though because like it allows our brains to like almost like be re-engineered and just like fine-tuned to be like, hey guys, like don't forget, like there are people all over this world that are working 10 times harder than you.
They gotta pay for that parking.
Yeah, yo man, that parking is ridiculous. down here.
Honestly, New York has the most expensive parking we've ever seen in our lives.
Ever.
How much was it?
I think it was about 50 USD
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
And remember, we're from Toronto, right? So for us, everything's CAD. That's about like $65, $70 Canadian.
That's a lot
That's
of money.
crazy. That's crazy. Because we went to SneakerCon, like a year ago in New York City, and we ended up doing the 2 days of course.
Mhm.
And first day, we're like, only $60, whatever. Second day, another $60. We're like, hold on. Like, this is kind of ridiculous, you know?
$120 just on parking
Mhm.
for 2 days. That's insane.
But like at the same time, it kind of comes with running a business, right? So
Yeah.
I have to understand, like, yo, there are gonna be numerous expenses that maybe you're not ready for, but your pocketbook better be ready for, you know?
Yeah.
And like, it's part of business at the end of the day.
Yeah, so into today's podcast. So one of the things that I really want to start, we've been focusing on it for a really long time, but I really want to start implementing it, is our Facebook and Instagram marketing.
Yeah, I think those are going to be like really good tools for us just to utilize. Because I think with us for the longest time within our business, we were really focusing on just the sales aspect, you know, making money. And I think we've not conquered it, but we've gotten a lot better at that by all the apps that we're using, by all the events that we're doing. And now I think since we have a good understanding of the system that's in place there,
Yeah.
now we need to like focus some more of our energy on like how are we gonna. Okay, now this needs to move, man. Come on, baby. You know how I'm clumsy. Don't do that. So like now we just need to focus a lot more of our energy on the actual marketing aspect. So instead of like just constantly trying to sell people clothes, we should be trying to like disseminate our articles that we have, you know what I mean? But like what's the process that works best for doing so? Also against spreading our podcast. Again, what's the best way to do that as well too, right?
Yeah.
And of course just finding ways that we can like properly brand ourselves and that are properly reaching to our corporate audience. Because I think from doing all the apps that we were doing previously, that kind of allowed us to get a better understanding of like who our audience is. And now that we kind of know who buys our products, it should make us easier to market our product, you know? So it's like, we don't have to guess essentially, you know? We know the Facebook groups that work really well for us. We know the type of demographics, groups, or subcultures that like our products.
Yeah.
So like it will make it a lot easier for us again to spread out all that information around and everything, you know?
Yeah.
And it's nice too because like I think within the marketing it's also gonna allow us to find new demographics that maybe we weren't focusing on, to allow us to be like, hey, like this group is really interested in our product, like maybe we should like, you know, try selling to them more, maybe go to more events that this demographic can also be involved in as well too.
So when you say branding, what exactly do you mean by that for our business?
So for me, branding is anything that represents Clarendon Co. that we're not trying to sell. So for instance, like if someone is on the bus and they see like an article come up about Clarendon Co., you know, we're not trying to sell them something. It's about our brand and what we essentially represent, and not necessarily the product that we're trying to give.
Okay.
So that's essentially what I mean when I speak about branding. You know, like how are we defined, and how people how are people essentially seeing us on an everyday basis.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the things that I want to focus on more, but my only concern is that I have like an image or an idea of what I want our branding to look like, but I don't know if we have the time to create that.
Let's see. I think that's one thing we kind of have to really figure out ourselves too. Is like, what do we want to do? And I think once we figure out like what needs to be done, what we want to do, we can have a better understanding of what needs to be created. I think right now we're kind of like still searching for answers in the dark, just because like one, this is new to us, and two, we haven't like really implemented anything, so we don't know like what's not working and what does work, right? So I think like the best part is like doing what we're doing now. It's like how I made some of those ads the other day, right? Like we'll use those ads, we'll look at the statistics after, see which ones are performing better than the others, and then we'll focus our next set of ads on the ones that did the best. And just keep figuring it out, to be honest with you. Because I don't think this branding thing or the whole marketing idea, we're not going to figure it out in 2 months.
No, it has to be like a day by day, step by step thing that we're like kind of like constantly and consistently working at. Like I literally know exactly what I want it to look like,
100%.
but it's just a matter of doing it.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, it's like, just because you know what you want to look like, and I'm sure like my ideas align well with yours, is that what our audience wants? Do you think that's what our audience wants?
I don't know.
Yeah, and that's why I think, I don't know either, let's just try it. Like whatever you have in your mind, let's just try it. Because in reality, it's like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Okay, we might lose a couple $100 like putting all this stuff together, but worst case scenario.
And either way, like it's not that big the deal. Like it's trial and error, like we always say. Like see it, like try something out, see if it's working. If it's not working, then switch to something else.
No, 100%. And I think we kind of have an understanding of like, again, who our demographic is. So I think that whole process of trying to like put our stuff out, like trying to like search for who is our demographic would be a lot easier, because like we kind of already have a niche market that we're working in.
Yeah.
So it's essentially like, you know, just seeing what they like.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like we have a pretty good, we have like a pretty solid idea of what our demographic is.
If you had to say what our demographic was, age, sex, what would you say?
So I'd say males and females aged like 12 to 25.
Perfect. That's exactly what our demographic is.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. But I do think though in the fall time it does get a bit higher.
It gets older in the fall.
Yeah, it does get a bit higher.
Because we sell different stuff.
Yeah.
Like in the
The
fall we
jackets
sell
and
like
stuff, right?
bar boards, like leather jackets, fur jackets, and stuff like that. Whereas like a 12-year-old kid's not looking for a fur jacket.
No, definitely not.
It's
Definitely.
more so like 30 plus that's looking for those types of things. So.
Or like the really, really like eclectic person that understands the nostalgia with like the fashion of a fur as well too, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, like that person really isn't our demographic.
No.
That person that understands fashion like the back of their hand and they're really into it, up on it every single day. They're not really our demographic.
That person's like our seasonal demographic.
Yeah.
Because even I feel like our demographic also shifts a little bit younger in like the summertime.
Oh yeah, 100%.
When like kids are off school, like high school students, elementary school students, I think it gets even a little bit younger than it is throughout the majority of the year.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely see that. And it's kind of crazy too, because even though you say that, and I think it gets younger with females than it does with guys.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of our items of course are more catered to like more catered to guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a lot of the pieces that are like unisex, it's usually like the younger generation that's like carrying that forward. For instance, if you look at Champion sweaters, for instance, you know,
Yeah.
we'll see Champion sweaters sell to someone that's like 30 and then sell to like a young like adolescent person that's only like 12, 13, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then of course there are other products that we generally only sell to older people, like fur jackets, for instance, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, for sure. So going forward, just speaking in reference to our business, where do you want to see our business 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I remember when we initially had written out the business plan, year 4 or 5, we were gonna start getting the different chapters of Clarendon Co. So there would have been like a Montreal chapter, a Manitoba chapter, Vancouver chapter, like you know what I mean, all the way from east to west. And I think that's something that like would be more probable if we were more so focusing on having brick and mortar stores. But I think like with you and I, we've kind of got a better understanding that like, hey, we really want the business more so to be a sourcing and distribution company. So then we can literally work from anywhere we want in the world rather than being fixed to like a particular location. So I think with myself, one thing that I would want to see in 5 years from now is us just more volume, would also the ability to also maybe have like 2 or 3 employees who actually having a solid warehouse where we we literally work out of, you know what I mean? Maybe it's not like it's not like a store or anything like that, but it's at least like a central location
Yeah.
where we're always bringing part of photography is being done, marketing time is being done, just like a central location, so like the whole team would be able to go there.
Yeah.
And that's essentially it for 5 years from now. That's what I would want. I would want us to be like the number one vintage distributor in all of Ontario at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. How about yourself, man?
And sorry, just in reference to that. So right now we're at like the 3-year mark.
3-year
Yeah.
mark. 3-year mark in October.
Oh yeah, 3-year mark in October.
Yeah.
So do you think we're on track to get all of those things in the next 2 years?
I would say no, just because we haven't really formalized it. We haven't really like formalized it as much as we should. I think our idea. No, I don't think we are. No, because one, we haven't formalized it as much as we should. What? Am I saying it?
Formulated?
Formulated.
What's formulated?
So the whole time, you have me saying this wrong ass word.
I was trying to figure out what's going on.
So formulated?
Yeah.
We haven't like formulated our ideas to the best of our abilities, and like some things that we wanted to get done in our 5th year, we got done in our 1st year. So I think we need like a better system that's in place that we're actually able to follow. So we're like, okay, by this point we should be able to get this.
But do you think we need a system, or do you think we just need?
I
Because I think we already have a system. I just think that we need like clearer 5-year objectives. Because like I feel like.
But I think that comes with the system though, right? Like once you understand the system that's in place, then you can be like, okay, well, with the system, we can project ourselves being here in the next 2.5 years or whatever.
Yeah, but we already have a system. So, and we currently have a system that's working for us.
In terms of sales.
Yeah,
In terms of sales.
exactly.
In terms of sales and selling, systems blessed. Systems blessed.
Yeah, we currently have a system that's working for us. So I don't think that there's an issue with the system. I think that there's an issue with the goals. We haven't specifically sat down and been like, okay, like what do we want in the next 2 years, and how are we gonna make that happen? Like we don't know what the goal is, so we need to have the goal before we can have the system to facilitate that goal.
No, like I definitely understand that. I definitely understand that because our system has been able to work for sales. So it's essentially that same system that we're doing. We're trying to put it into the marketing. But I guess to expand the business, we gotta put like the business development plan within that system to see if it actually has potential to get us to where we want to be. And I really think it does though. But again, it's like what you're saying, like what are our definitive goals?
Yeah.
And maybe like of course we probably have to change it around a bit so it has the potential to be successful and everything, but
Yeah.
it's just that like we just need to do it now.
Yeah.
We just literally just need to do it and everything. You
Because
know?
I feel like we are getting to the point where like we do need some sort of like outside storage, or at least at a minimum, you know?
Because I think for like the amount of pieces that we want to like have available for our audience and how often we want to post, that's gonna have to have more pieces, right?
Exactly.
So I think on stock right now we have about between 200 250.
We have way more than that.
You think so, eh?
Yeah, we have way more than that.
Yeah, see, and like, no, we definitely do. We definitely do. Whether it's one, we either get like an actual storage space, or we get like a bigger place. Like, you know, like we have to figure something out. But I don't think right now we have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But it's gonna become a problem eventually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying that I feel like we're closer to that 5-year mark than you think we are. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Because even this year, right, like, we've been killing it this year for the most part. And for us just to be like, 5 years is 2 years away.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally like 2 years away. So yeah, we gotta get on the,
Yeah.
get moving. Definitely
But
moving.
for me, for 5 years from now, I think that my like objectives are pretty similar to yours. I definitely do want like 2 to 3 employees.
Mm-hmm.
Can you stop doing that, please?
One I'm like, why is she kicking me? Like, I'm like, well, like, why is she fighting me? I'm like, why are you kicking me?
Because
Like
I don't like when you fiddle with things like in the back
But
of
that's
my
not a
ear.
nice big mouth fiddler. Don't do that.
Okay, well, just don't do it right by my ear. It's annoying.
Okay.
So yeah,
Sorry.
You're mature.
It was an accent.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
But yeah, I just I think my objectives are similar to yours. I definitely want employees to kind of take over some of the things that we've been doing, allow us to go to more events more frequently. So say if like there's a weekend when there's like 3 events in the city, like we can have 2 employees at one, 2 employees at another, and then like we're at another, or like floating between all of them.
Yeah, but we'll always be like the overseas friends. So.
Yeah.
The
fun ones.
Yeah, we all like the fun ones. 100%.
Yeah, like stuff like that. I don't really see us having a storefront, but maybe that could change. Definitely not in the next 2 years, but who knows, maybe that could change. I definitely do see us having like a centralized location though, like you said, but I don't really see it being a storefront, but who knows, maybe it would make sense to have it be like both essentially if we already have the space. But yeah, like those are my main like goals for the next 2 years, just more growth and more like just keep going on consistency with the track that we're already on.
Yeah, consistency, and of course like being a bit more productive, adding a couple things in there and whatnot. So like let's say we didn't reach those goals, how would you feel if we like essentially like failed?
You say it so quietly. It's not a bad thing. Failure is not a bad thing.
No, it's not, but sometimes it can be really crushing, especially when you like really spend 3 years of your life creating this whole thing from scratch, and like it really started like a seed within our head, and then bam, like look where we are now, right? So like for me, I think like if we did fail, I think for me I would take it hard, but I would want to learn from the process, so I know for next time another business venture that we're gonna get into, what can we do better? What can we make sure that the same things don't happen again or whatever, you know? But I think from this business alone, there's so many things that we learned. We can skip like 30 steps for the next business that we're to open.
I feel like if we were to fail, it would just be a learning lesson, and it would just kind of be, I'm probably gonna sound a little bit crazy right now, but it would just be kind of like the universe saying that, okay, this isn't supposed to work, but something else is. You know?
That doesn't sound crazy at all.
I don't know. I feel like whenever I say the universe, I sound like a hippie, but.
No, you're like I don't believe. I believe in the universe and stuff like that.
I know, but I talk to you all the time, so I was just doing kind of like a catchphrase for anyone listening. But yeah, I feel like if we were to fail, it would be for a reason, and it would be to teach us something, and then we could learn whatever we needed to learn and apply that to another business, because we're lifelong entrepreneurs, so I feel like it's not going to stop us. So.
Yeah, 100%. And even if it's not business, I think that we'll still be able to do some things independently. You know what I mean? Whether it's like talking about within the community, finding something like that, right? The same skills that we've learned from running a business, we'd be able to implement that in our own lifestyles or whatever. So I think like despite whatever we do, we've already learned so much, and like anything else that we learn or try and do or whatever would just be like an extra add-on or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, for me, one thing that I'm not worried about like 5 years from now in the future. I'm worried about more like 3 months, because I'm really excited about fall and winter this year. Because I think before in the previous years, like you said recently, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, that we only focused on getting the appropriate items while we're actually in the season.
Yeah.
You know, so it'd be winter time, we're like, oh, let's get winter clothes.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Like, you're too late at that point. Yeah.
So how do you feel now that like...
I think we're ready. We're so ready. We have tons of jackets, I've been finding jackets since like April. like winter jackets, fall jackets, all sorts of jackets. Got a couple really nice furs. Like, I'm really excited.
Yeah. I really want us to go on like... I think we're just going to be really good this year. I'm really excited because like we've been creating all this new marketing material that now that like we're like on track to just be like, yo, like Christmas is here, marketing materials already done. Thanksgiving, marketing materials already done. Back to school, done.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So
we've
like
learned a lot in the past couple of years.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and it's like what you said. Like it's not a failure. They're all lessons that we were able to learn and pick ourselves up from.
Yeah.
Like, there were times when we felt like, yo, like fuck this, like I don't want to do this business anymore.
Yeah,
I don't want to continue anymore.
So like, you know.
Now we have our own podcast, episode 20, guys. By the way, this is episode 20, eh? 20. We promised ourselves that we're gonna do 40 in 1 year, and we've already halfway through that. I'm really excited.
Good job.
Yeah, but for the most part, I'm really excited for fall winter. Really excited.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you're maybe looking forward to fall winter?
Yeah, just selling more. I'm really excited. I feel like people shop a lot more in the fall and winter.
Everyone.
Because in the summertime, you're competing for people's attention. That's like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
In the summertime, people have experiences. They're going camping, they're going to the cottages, they're going on vacations, they're going to barbecues, whatever. They're just like generally doing more fun stuff. So they're spending less time just like sitting at home scrolling through Instagram or scrolling through like different selling apps to buy stuff. And because they're doing so much more,
And people are working more because, like, remember our demographic, they're gonna have all their little part-time jobs now, right?
yeah, and also too like because people are doing so many other things, they have a lot less extra money just floating around as well. Whereas like in the fall and winter, the weather's crap. It's either raining or snowing or cold. You're inside. So what do you do when you're inside? You're on your phone. You're on the internet. You're on your laptop. You're scrolling through random stuff. You're shopping because you're not spending as much money on experiences and you're spending money on stuff. Because what else are you gonna
Hopefully
spend
our
money
stuff,
on?
guys.
So
Hopefully our stuff.
I'll see you in the fall and winter.
All right, so before we gotta get out of here, anything
No,
you want to add
that's
before
everything.
and everything?
I think we're good.
I don't know. I feel like this podcast just flew by.
Yeah, it was really fast.
This never really flew by.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by again. Please do not forget to like and share so we know that you care. All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.